Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I am, of course, Dr. Cush. I mean, who else could be here? It's his exotic drinks. We're here in the middle of the fall of Fizz, and we are testing out fizzes. We are trying fizzes. We are going to make the best fizzes we possibly can shove into our bellies, and that's what we're up to tonight. We're going to be taking one of my very favorite fizzes, and we are going to perfect it. All right, we have 2 different things we got to get to tonight, so we have a lot to talk about, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of rambling. Up top, we're going to get up to drinking, and right after that, we are going to, then the show ends. Basically, it is rambling, then drinking, and then the show ends. Let me say hello to the people first, though. Let me say hello to Tiki Tom Hubbard. Happy Thirsty Thursday to you as well, Tiki Tom Hubbard. Very excited to see you. Amy Beer. We got a hello train going on here. Hello from Roger G. Then, of course, to Amy and Tom. Right after that, DC Debbie Clark comes in. She's the winner of the 2023 Cush Tucky Derby. Hello, Tom, Roger, and Amy. Tom comes back with a whole, he missed some people, so he says hello to them. And we are caught up. Okay, that was that. Good evening to our good friend, Shawnee P, Shawnee Panna Baker. He is in the house. Kyle seems excited for Friday Eve. Kyle usually is excited for every Eve. Kyle really comes alive at night. He's worthless during the day. It's not like he's worth a ton. I mean, it's not like he's solving, problems at night, but he's better at night. Let's see who else we got in here. We got the husbands. Welcome back to the husbands. Michael and Stephanie here. They're the winners of the 2024 Cush Tucky Derby. Cush Tucky Derby is coming up quicker than you think. May. Comes quick. Paul Bellinardo, very excited. Paul loves Amaro. Paul Bellinardo Amaro. Have we talked about? I know Paul wanted to be the pollinator there for a little bit. I don't know if that's a great nickname. It's fun. What about Paul Bellamaro? Paul Bellamaro. If there's 2 of them, Paul Bellamari. We'll workshop it. Cheers to you also, Susan Lang. That is my mom, of course. Hello to Jeremy Foote. Hello. The UF Mark, the resident gator. Chomp Chomp. Good to see you, pal. As always, a pleasure, never a chore. Kyle is a vampire. Kyle is not a vampire. Kyle is just... He just doesn't do much during the day. Back from traveling. Back from traveling, said the husbands. Good. We are glad to have you back from traveling. And we love Kyle. Yeah, listen, I didn't say anything about not loving Kyle. You can love people and have them be somewhat useless during the day. That's all right. Not all morning people that are great. Sometimes night people are great. That's what we got. So what are we doing today? We are going to get into, this whole thing? Don't worry about this old thing. This is just, it's not a big deal. It's just, my championship belt from Fernet Branca when I won the barback games in 2017. Pretty good. Get a good look at that right there. Boom, they give you a whole belt. Later on, they just gave you coins, but, 2017, that's when everybody was doing great, and they were giving out belts. This is a Fernet Branca belt. I am, of course, deep in the Fernet camp. People are pro-Fernet. People are anti-Fernet. I get it. But I don't like it. You're either pro-Fernet or pro getting out of here. This is my one of my very prized possessions. I really enjoy this little thing. I won it once. Let's put this back down. There we go. All right. So, let go. In order to get into how to make the very best Fernet, we have to take out some level of bias. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little battle box. This is a surprise battle box tonight. Oh, I should have had this thing just ready to go. Give me 1 second. We're going to say that one more time. This is, of course, a... oh, now it doesn't work. Give me 1 second. This is a surprise battle box tonight. This is a surprise battle box tonight, guys. We are going to be testing the difference between the two available Cokes. I don't know what this hand was for. I went back. What am I going to do? 1 and 1, or am I going to do 2? We're going to do a battle box between the two different available Cokes. We're going to see which Coca-Cola works better. Is it going to be better if we do the American Coke with the corn syrup, or is it going to be better if we do the Mexican Coke with the cane sugar? My thought, of course, is going to come right off and say it is definitely going to be better if we are going to be doing this with the cane sugar Coke. I'm not a big fan of corn syrup. Don't like it. I think that's what made me fat. It wasn't that I, just overeat. It has nothing to do with bored eating. Maybe the cocktails that I have with just straight sugar and juices in them. Couldn't have been any of that. It's definitely the corn syrup. So I think we're going to like the Mexican Coke better, but we're going to figure this out. But before we do that, I just want to get into what exactly a Fernet and Coke is, starting with what is Fernet. This right here, my friends, is a brand new bottle of Fernet Branca. Now, Fernet Branca is the family that makes Fernet Branca. There are lots of Fernets. There are at least 5. Could be way more. But it was started by a guy named Bernardino Branca around in the earlier 18s. This guy was, of course, what else are you gonna be? He was an herbalist. The dude is an herbalist. He started Fratelli Branca, which is, it just means brothers Branca, with his 2 sons, which is, it's tough to, your son's your brother, it doesn't matter. The family Branca is the name of the place that makes this, and they made Fernet Branca for an awfully long time using, famously, a secret ingredient and a secret recipe, using famously a secret recipe and a 27 ingredients list, 27 different herbs that go in here. Now, we know a couple of them. Cardamom is in there. One of them that we definitely know is saffron. Saffron is absolutely used in Fernet Branca. There is a rumor, one of those wild internet things, that 75% of the world's saffron goes into making Fernet Branca. Some people believe it. Some people don't believe it. Whether you believe it or not, whether you've done the math and learned that that would be about 1/4 of just gross that these guys make, it seems like a lot to just throw away on one somewhat imperceivable ingredients that goes into this guy. Whether you believe it or not, there is certainly saffron in here, and it ends up being a fairly bitter liqueur. Now, it's an Italian liqueur, obviously. It's an Amaro, one of the Amari family, but it didn't become its most popular in Europe at all. The most popular place for Fernet in the whole wide world is Argentina. Why Argentina? Well, okay. For a while, people were leaving Europe, and due to Argentina's somewhat lax, immigration policies, a lot of Europeans ended out in Argentina for various reasons. I think we know what some of those various reasons are. We're not going to get into that whole thing. Anyway, 1907, it's the first time we ever see Fernet Branca being even shipped out to Argentina. And then by 1925, the first time, 1925, 1926, right around there, it's the first time we ever have a distillery of Fernet outside of Italy, and it ends up in Argentina. There's a third one now, and that is in a place called New York. You've heard of it? Of course, Fernet sort of takes off in New York. A lot of Italian people were immigrating to New York, so Fernet takes off there as well. It starts in a little place called Tribeca. They have a movie theater there or something as well that Robert De Niro's way into. He loves this movie theater, the Tribeca Film Theater or something. Anyway, that takes off in the 1990s due to the resurgence of cocktailing, not just crap tailing. Have we coined that term yet? Crap tailing? Let's put a pin in that. Paul Bellamaro and crap tailing. We're just throwing out terms here today. We'll go back and visit these. When craft cocktails came back, of course, bartenders were looking for new, cool things, and Fernet Branca did become one of them. Although there is a distillery in New York, the most Fernet in the United States is drank not in New York, but in fact the exact opposite of New York. It is the exact opposite, at least on the coast-wise. It is in San Francisco. San Francisco drinks about 35% of the Fernet in the United States. We're not talking about the United States, though. We are going back to Argentina. So we're going back to Argentina to talk about a phenomenon called the Fernet con Coca. The Fernet con Coca. I have worked in multiple Latin bars, and in those Latin bars, we would get a ton of people coming in, and I was shocked as anybody to learn that their very favorite drink was Fernet and Coke. They would say, I want the Fernet y... and for some reason, it was always the longest A in between. Fernet y Coke. We would time it. Huge situation. It sort of gained popularity throughout the early 1900s into the late 1900s, and now it is an absolute staple. And yet, people still argue about how exactly to make it. That's what we're doing today. We are going to take the most popular recipe, and we're going to go a little higher, and we're going to go a little lower, and we're going to see which one actually works out. Is it going to be the Goldilocks system? This one's too hot, this one's too cold. This bed is perfect temperature. They never talk about how the bed temperature would have affected Goldilocks. They only talk about softness and hardness. That doesn't matter to me. If you got a hot bed, I don't care how comfy it is. I'm out of it. I need to be a cold bed. Cold like a milkshake in a bed. That's what I need. Anyway, we are going to be starting off over here. So we're going to make two of these guys right in here. I have two different glasses. Now, I do want to say real quick, we are not making these correctly. All right? A Fernet y Coca, Fernet y Coca, should be made in a tall glass. It is, after all, a Fizz. All right? I've just run out of those glasses, and these are the only ones that I feel comfortable putting into the battle box. So we're going to put these guys in here. We're going to be making these exactly, there we go, exactly to spec for what the most common version of a Fernet and Cola is. And then we are going to experiment with three other glasses. Look at those guys, Baby Bear, Mama Bear, and Papa Bear. And we're just going to try those out. Now, I know what it tastes like to have extra booze in a drink, so that battle box does not seem interesting to me. But the battle box that does seem interesting to me is it possible that the addition of corn syrup will make our Fernet y Cocas better? Oh, that's the stuff. Tiki Tom Hubbard has brought us a new fun little thing. Yes, this is actually an IBA cocktail. It is an official IBA cocktail. Similar to the Cuba Libre, it's just rum and Coke. A little bit of Fernet and Coke is an IBA cocktail. So that's fun. Fernet y Coke, Fernet con Cola is very legit. All right, the most popular way to make this cocktail is going to be 3 parts. Now, this is an annoying way to do this, but 3 parts Fernet to 7 parts Coca-Cola. All right, 3 parts Fernet to 7 parts Coca-Cola. So we're going to half that. We're not going to do 3 ounces and 7 ounces. That would kill any normal person. For me, it would only energize me. The Coca-Cola is the only thing I worry about in this. I do not respond well to caffeine. I don't drink coffee, and I hardly drink Coca-Cola. We're going to go ahead and put in 1.5 ounces into each of these of Fernet Branca. We're not going to win any awards if we're pouring it like that. There we go. Sometimes we get lazy. All right, so now the American Coke and the Mexican Coke both have their Fernet in there. We are going to be pouring in Jeez Louise, all kinds of sounds going on. This is Mexican Coke. Mexican Coke, of course, separately labeled for the United States. They slap one of these guys on here because you don't have as many labeling conventions in Mexico. But what you do have in Mexico is less land to grow corn on, or specifically less land in which to subsidize the growing of corn, thus trying to find ways that corn will fit into literally anything, and thus learning that corn is just about as sweet as sugar, and humans don't really digest corn that well. I mean, everybody knows the old thing about finding corn, and we know that we don't digest corn well, but either way, we still use it as a sweetener. Down Mexico way, they don't subsidize their corn, so it's probably just as cheap to grow cane as it is to grow corn. I don't know much about, I don't know big ag at all, but that sounds about right. We're gonna crack this guy open right there, and we're gonna be putting in 3.5 ounces of Coca-Cola. Now, technically, we're also doing this wrong. We want to pour the Coca-Cola in all at one time and just sort of guess at how much Coke is in there, trying to hit about 3.5 ounces. But because we want to be precise, we're going to do it at 3.5 ounces using the jigger here. So we're going to go ahead and put in 2 ounces of Coke and then 1.5 ounces of Coke. That's good. And then, we're going to reach down here and grab our big old plastic bottle. Boosh! Look at that character right there. That is a behemoth. Behemoth. They do not, we're not getting away with anything here. We're going to go ahead and open this guy up. Let this fizz out. Much less fizzy. Let's go ahead and put in 3.5 ounces of our, oh, did I mess these up? Dang it. Oh, no, that's American. No, I did mess them up. Okay, we got to take these little stickers off. Put this sticker here. Right there. Put them on the wrong glasses. I'll edit that out at some point. There we go. There's Mexican. Now Mexican is there, and American is there. We're going to put 3.5 ounces of some American Coke. Pretty standard stuff. 3 to 7. 3 parts to 7 parts. We are, because it's a fizz and we have it, we're going to be putting in our beautiful clear ice. One right there. One right here. We have to make ice tomorrow. Somebody please remind me. We have to make ice tomorrow. I'm going to drop this in here. This is the Mexican Coke. That's going to crack, absolutely. We did not temper that. And put that right there. All right. There we have it. This, the American, sorry. This, the Mexican Coke. And this, the American Coke. And now we will have our very good friend and lab assistant, Kyle, come on in while I get the battle box. Oh, ready. There we go. Okay. Battle box engaged. Kyle is coming in. If you guys have anything to say to me right now, now is a good time to do it, because in just a moment, I'm going to turn off the video and the chat. That way we can that way I'm not, seeing what's going on. Let me say hello real quick to our good friend, Moose, and a hi to DC, the Cocktail Princess. There's Kyle. Kyle is ready. Kyle, give me a thumbs up. Are you ready to switch these up? Perfect. Okay. Kyle, I'm going to go ahead and turn around, and you get in here and do your thing. There we go. Now, what Kyle, of course, is doing right now is he is just going to do a little magic trick. He's going to switcheroo these Cokes. We're just going to see which one is which, see if I can tell which one I like the most. And from there, we will then begin to build our perfect version of a Fernet con Coca. One issue that we have with it, unfortunately, is I did not buy enough Mexican Coke. So really hoping that the one that I like the most is the American one. It's cheaper. and also I have plenty of it. Give me a knock when you're ready. Oh, that's a knock right there. Okay, I am going to go ahead and put this. Oh shoot, which one is my head? Is that is that good? Great, perfect. Okay, that is good. Okay, so I have these in the box right now. I cannot see which is which, and as I turn towards here, I am going to go ahead and close out this little thing, and there we go. There we have it. I am now closed out, and we're gonna do this. Now I have straws. I don't know which one Kyle put anything into. Okay, there's one right there. Okay, there's not one right there exactly where I asked him to put it. And there's one right there. Okay. Oh, am I getting caught on the ice? I might be getting caught on the ice. Oh, there we go. Looks like we are in. So you guys can see these are where we go. So we're going to just tilt this a little bit. I think, oh, we're going to tilt that and pull it back a little bit. I think you guys, I can't tell. I think you guys can still see it when it's in that one. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to take this one out because that one doesn't have anything in it. Okay, Mexican versus American Coke in a Fernet and Coke at the proportions that we are looking for. We're looking for 7 to 3, 7 being Coke, 3 being Fernet. Let's get a little sip in here. You guys see that change there now. Boy, that tastes like a Fernet and Coke. I guess I would have to compare it against something else. It's got the bitterness. What's great about Fernet and Coke is, of course, it's got its sweetness. It's basically a whole cocktail wrapped into 2 ingredients. It has its sweetness, it has its bitter, and it has its booze. And also incredibly good if you are having tummy rumbly issues. Let's go down here. Oh. Ah. Dang it. Well, I think I know the answer. Let's just give it one more try. Yeah. Okay. I think I got it. Not necessarily due to taste. I have a feeling that this would be a different experiment if I had let these sit out for a while. You guys heard me both crack these open. These are brand new bottles of Coke. This one right here, I'll point to it. This one right here is certainly more fizzy. There's certainly more fizz going on in this one. There is less fizz going on in this one. It is it's somewhat negligible. This is clearly better. I really hope that's the American one. Really hope that's the American one, but I don't think it is. That's just my bias. I don't, like I said, don't care for corn syrup. And this one is less fizzy. Yeah, okay. So if I was to say which one's better, I would say this one's better. And thus, I am going to have to take a guess and say that this one right here is the Mexican Coke right there. And that would, of course, then mean that this less fizzy. Oh, let's, did I push this one already? There we go. When I can't see the screen, I never know what my foot has hit. I don't know if you guys are just watching like a video of my belly bouncing on. Oh, there's the burps. Oh, that'll open. I had dinner with Eduardo Branca, who's Brandino's great grandson, and he continuously at dinner will mention, and I don't know if this word isn't as like funny in Italian as it is in American, but he will constantly mention the sphincter. He loves talking about the sphincter that goes in between your chest and your stomach, which with Fernet opens up and bloop, lets you burp it out. Let's try these one more time. Now that I think this is Mexican. Yeah. It's subtle. Fernet takes it over. I'm only going on bubbliness, and I'm going to say that this is the Mexican Coke right there, and this is the American. So let's bring back up the thing right there. There we go. And let's see, did I get it right? There we go. We're going to go ahead and raise this one. Is that one? That's the American, and that's the Mexican. Okay. So we have that part of the experiment figured out. We like the Mexican one more than we like the American one, and thus there we go. We'll pull these out and put these away here. Put that there. All right. That's stage one of our experiment. What time are we at? Oh, we're 27 minutes in. Oh my goodness. We might have to stay after school today, guys. All right, I'll get through this as quickly as I possibly can. Thank you to everybody. I'm a Fernet witch. That is correct. A Fernet bruja, I believe, is what I'm called. Thank you to the husbands. Thank you to Stephanie and just thank you to the husbands constantly. I was thinking Diet Coke, but I can tell the difference between Diet Coke and Coke Zero. I can tell Coke Zero. That's, you know what? Maybe I can't. Maybe I have a bias there. There's a chance. Okay, we have our two drinks here. This is the American version, and we're going to put that one right off to the side. We don't need to use that one. We are going to... How much Fernet do I want to drink tonight? I think the question is, how much Coke do I want to drink tonight? All right, let's do it. Let's do it anyway. We're going to do half portions of all of these drinks in order, you know, for science, etc. Because otherwise I'm going to die. Let's go ahead and put in, I feel like in my like rowdy bartender days, I had like let's go to the after hours kind of bartender days. I certainly was not always a good boy during those times. I feel like I could put a bottle of Fernet down. I feel like I probably could put a bottle of Fernet down. Now, 3 shots and I am burping. My sphincter is wide open for some reason, and I am far too drunk to be alive. So maybe I'm wrong, but that European Coke is different compared to the American one. What? Moose, how do we get European Coke out here? I think it's time. Okay. We're going to be going into these 3 glasses, Baby Bear, Mama Bear, and Papa Bear. We're going to be measuring out different amounts of Fernet that go into them. Is that right? No, that's not right. Same amount of Fernet into each of them, more ice and more Coke in the 2 of them. So we're just going to take a guess, and say, oh, we don't want this Coke. We have so much of this Coke. You know what? How much Coke do I have left? What did I use? 7 ounces in that? Did I use 7 ounces? Yeah, I used 7 ounces. And this is only 12 ounces. That's not going to be enough. Wait, that can't be 7 ounces. What have I done wrong? How much is 355 milliliters? Quickly. I don't know. Okay. You know what? We'll try it. We'll try it here, and we'll see what our amount is. We're going to start over. We want the proportion. So we want 3/4 by 3 by 7. And this is 3 by 7. So we're just going to reuse this one. All right. And we'll add a little bit more of both of them here in a second. I want to grab my Fernet bottle. And we're going to be doing, in this one, obviously, we're going to be doing less Fernet, more Coke. But we're still going to be pouring in 1.5 ounces of Coke. There we go. And in this one as well, an ounce and a half of Coke. This is the baby one right here. An ounce and a half of Fernet. Okay. I thought about buying a second bottle of Coke, and that would have been much, much better, but I just didn't. I didn't even cross my mind. Okay. Now, how are we going to do this? Okay, so this one, we are going to go 3 parts to 10. 3 parts to 10 ounces. All right, so that means that we have an ounce and a half here. We need to put 5 ounces in this large one. So there's 2, 4, and we're going to save that last ounce for the final pour. We want the bubbling over. This one right here, we're going to go 3 to 3. All right, so there's an ounce and a half in here. So that means we need to put an ounce and a half in there. We are going to hold off on that one. And in this one, we're going to figure it out. Okay, let's put our ice in. Right there. Put our ice in this one as well. You know what? I have plenty of Fernet left. Let's just do this. Let's do this experiment right. Pour that back in here. We're going to be putting an ounce and a half of Fernet in here. We should do the experiment right. You know, we got to figure it out. Do the experiment right. This is an ounce and a half of Fernet. And we are then going to pour in 3.5 ounces of our liquid. So go ahead and put in 2 ounces right there. Fill her with ice. And we are giving it what they call a, I believe it's called a Corona, which is just a crown on top of the Fernet. There we go. Lots and lots of ice into each of them. Okay, so we need another ounce in here. 1 ounce in this guy right there. It should come to the top, hit the top, and then go back down. We need an ounce and a half in this one. Right there, should hit the top, bounce back down. And then we need an ounce and a half in this one. And I think we bought exactly the right amount of Coke. We're gonna tip this, pour her in. Just a touch short on this. Okay. So much Fernet to drink, but, you know, if not me, who? If not when? If not now, when? Throw these in here. Excellent. Okay. These 3 different versions of the Fernet and Coke. The 1-to-1 or the 3-to-3. This is the 3-to-7, and this is the 3-to-5. 3-to-5. Is there another? No. Okay. The 3. Is there a half ounce in here? Because we can do the 3-to-4, and then we'll do it by 3 increments. Oh, there is. Perfect. Okay. That one nailed it. So again, this is the let's do these one more time. This is the 3-to-4, 3 parts Fernet, 4 parts Coke. This is the 3-to-7, and this is the 3-to-10. What time are we at? Oh my gosh. Okay. We should have done this as an hour-long show someday. We're not doing it. We're going to get through it quick. Let's start over here at the very Fernet-full. This is absolutely something you will not Fernet about. This is 3 parts Fernet, 4 parts Coca-Cola. Let's give it a stir. It's very nice. I will tell you what, in this one, I don't think you're going to care. Let's get this out of here. In this one, I don't think you're going to care which Coke you put in here. You almost don't taste the Coke. It almost just tastes like a sweeter Fernet, which, hey, I'm not complaining. I like it. This one right here is our normal one. We just had this a minute ago. It adds that element of Coke. You can absolutely taste the Coke in this one. Very standard version of it. You can see why it's a standard, because it isn't just sort of sipping on Fernet like this one is, but maybe a little extra Coke will help us out. Let's figure it out. So this one is 3 parts Fernet to 10 parts Coca-Cola. This one, oddly enough, the big one, it loses, let me tell you what it loses. It loses sweetness for some reason. It starts to taste like it is a Fernet and soda water, as opposed to a Fernet and Coke. But it just sort of feels like watered down Fernet with a little bit of fizz. That's not my favorite. That's not. It behooves you to have the Fernet be forward in the Fernet con Coca, and even if you don't like Fernet, I feel like you're going to be really having a hard time, like, getting this one down. You know, like when you have something that you don't like, you want it to be small portions. What's that old Woody Allen joke? That the place was horrible and such small portions. You know, that kind of thing. Like, if it's so horrible, why do you want such big portions of it? This one tastes like that. It is just kind of watery. The Coke doesn't stand out, and the Fernet doesn't stand out, and it sort of just tastes like, you know, like when you want a Sprite, but then somebody brings you a Waterloo or a LaCroix, like a lemon lime LaCroix. This is lemon lime LaCroix when what you were looking for was a Sprite. No, thank you. Let's go back to this one. It's between these two. This one is Fernet-y. I'm not telling you guys anything out of school. This one, clearly, there's a lot of Fernet going into it. But we lose the Coke. Yeah. You know what? This... I'll be very honest. It's no contest. I don't want to be a homer, or I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to throw any bias in there. But there's a reason that the 3 to 7 for this is a perfect combination. 3 to 7. 1.5 ounces of Fernet, 3.5 ounces of Coca-Cola. You find yourself with the closest thing to what we would consider a cocktail, something that balances itself out. It has the sweetness, it has the sour, it has the bitter, it's got everything. It's simple to drink. Yeah, I don't think that there's an option to say that either one of these is that either one of these two ones, these guys right here, the 10 to 3 or the 3 to 10 or the 3 to 4 could ever beat the 3 to 7. So there it is. I don't want to, I mean, do I call TMZ on myself, or one of you guys going to call TMZ? How does this happen to announce to the world that we have found the perfect Fernet con Coca recipe? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't have a publicist. I got a bar back and I have a producer. The producer's also my wife, so she's already doing too much. I mean, honestly, that poor woman is already overworked. And especially tonight, now that I can feel that caffeine coursing through my veins, I can tell you right now that this one right here is the best, and we have to get the word out. So remember, if you guys have friends that might like to watch experiments like this here at Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks, send this video over to them. I am going to cut this one into a smaller video. I am going to try my very best to get Fernet. I've never in all of my life been sent 1 bottle of Fernet. Can you believe that? For a show that has a Fernet core instead of an encore, we have now done an experiment to figure out exactly the best way to make a Fernet and Coke. Never once have they sent me a bottle of Fernet. Yeah, they gave me a t-shirt, a few t-shirts, maybe 7 or 8 t-shirts, and a belt. But I will be very honest with you, I earned that belt. I earned that belt. Let me put the belt on while we Say goodnight. Thank you guys so much for watching Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. We will be back here on Friday. That's not true. Uh-oh. Sorry, producer Jen. This could be a rough one. Thank you so much for watching Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. If you can help out, there are a couple ways you can do it. One, I have a Patreon. Two, I have Venmo and the other one, PayPal. And the best way you can do it is to share these videos with other people you to like these videos, to comment on these videos. I want to say thank you to Roger G, who has heard that assignment. I want to say thank you to Bon Bon, who is not here. She has heard that assignment. They comment on my videos a lot, and that helps those videos. The moment you guys comment on them, pew! For some reason, that puts them right into the algorithm. So thank you guys for doing that. Share these videos, like these videos, comment on these videos. And if you can't do any of those things, you don't know how to do any of those things, that's fine. We are not a technology bar. We are a bar. The best thing you can do to a bar is to show up. We do classes Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays here at Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Reminder, this Saturday, we have the famous, the legendary, I just got confirmation from him that he is going to be on the show this weekend, Bill Holmes, from such TV shows as Rick and Morty. You don't know who Rick and Morty are? Maybe don't start. Honestly, it's a great show, but don't start watching it now. It's addictive. I would never suggest that you just start smoking cigarettes. That's kind of what Rick and Morty is. So he will be on here on Saturday. I want to thank you guys all so much for showing up. I'm sorry that I kept you for an extra 12 minutes, but it's Fernet. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, as always. And if you do something I wouldn't do, please do not name it after me. As always, always a pleasure, never a chore. And till next time. What the hell? How did that one go? As always, thank you so much. And bye-bye. Why is this double clicking? Bye-bye. Got to figure that out. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.